Well, I'm back from the break, and I left off talking about how Sabe was wasting my time. He literally lied to me a bunch, and I was feeling some type of way about that. The worst part was that now I had the dilemma: do I wait the 30 minutes for the money order, or do I spend 20 minutes repackaging my product and going over the invoice with the clerk, Sabe, so that he knows I'm not like stealing from him and that he knows what I'm taking out of the store. So I wait the 30 minutes. I literally wait 30 minutes, and then I wait longer. And I tell him, hey, it's been like 40 minutes, man. You need to call him. He tells me, oh, I'm going to text him. So he texts him in front of me, allegedly. I see him on his phone pressing buttons. So then I wait another 5-10 minutes and I say, hey, man, you need to call him now, or I'm taking my product and I'm taking it out of the store. He calls him, and then it goes straight to voicemail. I say, dude, you need to call him again. He says, just give it a minute, give it a minute. He starts handling customers. Customers are literally just like, let me get a blunt. Let me get this blunt. Let me get 2 loose cigarettes. And half the time, the guy doesn't have the product that's necessary to keep the customers happy. It's like, oh, we don't have those blunts. Oh, man, you said that yesterday. Oh, man, you ain't no blunt, man? Why you ain't got my blunts, man? Hold on, I'm thinking. There's more than one store. Take your lazy ass, walk down the street, go to the next Arab Run corner store. Go to the next neighborhood convenience mart. You know, go talk to the next person. Just get in your car, go 2 blocks to the actual gas station, which is always in stock, and get a blunt from there. Oh man, you don't got the blunts? And I'm like, dude, call him again or I'm leaving. So he calls him again. No, actually, he says, man, he's going to yell at me. You know how he gets. He gets really angry. He's going to yell at me. I don't want that trouble in my life. And I say, you call him right now, or I'm boxing up my product and I'm leaving. And he says, he just kind of ignores me and keeps handling the customers. So I said, all right. Literally said, all right, waited a beat, and then I started boxing everything up. At this point, it had been about an hour. He saw me box everything up and then called him, like I asked him to do the first 2 times. And I don't know if he called him the first time, and he didn't call him the second time. So he calls him, and they have some little conversation in Arabic. But the guy, Sabe the clerk, who was talking to Buddha, the fat-ass, bearded, balding son-in-law or son or nephew of the actual store owner. So Sabe's talking to Buddha in Arabic, but Sabe doesn't really speak Arabic that well. So he says like literally 3 words in Arabic, and then the rest of his sentence is in English. And then he says like 2 more words in Arabic at the end. And I pretty much caught the whole conversation. He's like, dubba dubba dubba. Steve's taking his shit. He's about to leave. Dubba dubba. What do you want me to do? Dubba dubba. Seriously bogus. It's kind of foul, but man, I'm doing it. So I don't know what Buddha told Sabe, but Sabe literally said, everybody, drop it. We're closed. We're closed. Drop it. No, I don't care. Get out. Everybody get out. Everybody out. Out. So all of the hood rats, and the store's usually got about 15 to 20 hood rats in it. Like, they all kind of just, like, the lights turned on, and they all just kind of like, they shuffled out. And they're like, man, this is bullshit. So then Sabe talks to Toothless Crack Fiend number 1, because there's a few of them at that store. Saves time if I just number them. He talks to Crack Fiend number 1 and tells him to lock it up. And I'm still boxing up my product. And I'm literally taking the time to make sure I don't damage them. I'm not just like just taking the stuff off the shelf. Like I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because certain cases have certain numbers. There'll be like 26 in this one, there'll be 28 in this one, there'll be 20 in this one. So I'm taking my time and I'm grabbing the corresponding cardboard because the cardboard has like a tag on it. So I want to make sure that proper product goes back into the proper cardboard so I can box it up and it'll be easier for me later. And so I notice everyone's leaving and I hear him kicking everybody out, but I don't make the connection. I'm thinking like he's going to try to beg me or do something. I don't know what he's going to do. But what happens next is the crack fiend number 1, after the last hood rat customer leaves the store, he locks the door. There's actually a double door. There's 3 doors actually in this store. There's 3 doors. So he locks all 3 of them. And I'm on my rack, like with my knee pads on, and I'm on the bottom shelf and I'm like working. So I'm not really privy to everything that's going on, but I do stick my head up for a quarter second and I see the crackhead at the door, like locking it as the last person leaves. I'm thinking, it is what it is. He's just trying to kick everybody out so that they can, I don't know, beg me to stop, or I don't know what. I didn't add 1 + 1. I didn't see the connection. The synapses were firing, but they were going the wrong directions. So I should have been a lot more worried than I was. So then after that, I finish up after about 15 minutes of boxing everything up, counting everything, and now I've got another pick list. I've got another invoice, pre-manifest invoice, and I'm like, hey, let's go over this product so I can take it out of the store. And that's when I noticed that the metal shutters were closed on the store. Now, for people who don't know what the metal shutters, the significance of that would be, it's like a garage door that surrounds your store, because we're in the hood. It's essentially a garage door that surrounds the entire store. From the outside of the building, there's these shutters that come in and they just go all the way down, and then that's there, and then another one comes all the way down, and it's a linking system, so they all just linked, and they all went to the bottom of the ground, and the doors were locked. And I'm like, hey buddy, I'm gonna need you to open these doors and shutters. He said, can't do that. He said, I'm under strict orders not to let you out. And I'm thinking, this ain't Saudi Arabia. I don't know if that sounds sketch, possibly xenophobic, but in Saudi Arabia, the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, regularly kidnaps his cousins and locks them in like a 5-6-star hotel. Like they're all princes and princes, or whatever, sheiks and whatever the hell they are over there. But he would just kidnap them and then lock them in like a 5-star hotel, and they weren't allowed to leave their rooms or some crap like that. That was the story at the time, back in 2019. And I was thinking, like, that's fresh on my mind. I'm like, this guy really thinks he can just lock me in his store like I don't have a phone. Like, that's like, I couldn't just overpower you and get out if I really wanted to. But then I'd probably be, on camera and get fired because soy moreno, they don't, I'm black, I'm brown, soy moreno. They don't care. The narrative that would be pushed out is this black guy was abusing this pale-skinned dude, this white passing pale-skinned dude who was just a store clerk and just doing what he was told. He didn't know he was doing anything wrong, and that would be the story narrative that would be pushed out. And it's just not checkers. It's just. So I know not to just start overpowering, skinny little potheads, and whooping their ass until they let me out. So I literally was like, hey man, I'm gonna need you to let me out. I pretty much asked him a couple times, realized where this was going, and then I flipped on my phone and pressed the button and started recording audio. and I recorded him acknowledging that he had me locked in his store and that he wasn't going to let me out, and that he acknowledged that that was wrong, but there was nothing he could do. And so here's kind of how the thing went. I get my phone, press some buttons, slide it into my pocket so that he doesn't think I'm like recording him outright. And I'm like, hey, I need you to open the shutters, man. You got me locked in your store. He's like, can't do that. I'm gonna need you to do it anyway. I'm under strict orders, man. You know this. Strict orders, like, you know what you're doing is a crime. He says, oh man, I just following orders, man. I'm just doing what I'm told. You know, I need my job. I'm like, dude, if I call the police, you're gonna get arrested and you won't have a job. You know what you're doing is a crime. You're literally like kidnapping me, dude. You can't just hold people against their will. It's like, sorry, Steve. Bubba, I almost said his real name. Bubba will be here. Buddha will be here in about a half hour. Buddha will be here. He's almost here. He'll be here in like 10-15 minutes, half hour at the lowest. Just hold on. I'm like, even if he gets here, I'm taking my product and I'm leaving. I've been here for about an hour and 10 minutes now. I'm not staying any longer. Open the shutter. And he's like, man, I wish I could, man. So when I start telling, I just keep repeating that kind of thing over and over as I'm recording him, acknowledging he knows what he's doing. He acknowledging that he can hear me. There's no ground for him to stand on. If and when I go to the police with this, he can't just say I didn't hear him because he's speaking with me. Plausible deniability won't work with me. Like, I've got uncles who are lawyers. I've got an uncle who's a judge. I have people who are much more intelligent than me in my family, and I soak up a little bit of that from time to time. You know, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm definitely not going to get outsmarted by some hood dude who literally just works around the dumbest and most ignorant people you'd ever see. Like, people are getting murdered over scoops of meat and cheese, and people are getting shot and stabbed over whose hood rat girlfriend sucked whose hood rat stinky balls. And that's where he's at. And like there's a sphere of ignorance. If you're in a place where everyone around you's stupid as shit, and every conversation you hear is obnoxiously dumb, and that's just like, you're gonna sink down a little bit. And that's he's been there for a while. And that's his 9 to 5. That's all his life. That's his day. So I'm not going to get outsmarted by that guy in that situation, and that's why I recorded him. So I recorded him, and the last part of the recording is, hey man, if you don't let me out, I'm calling the police. And then he says, hey man, you do what you got to do. So that's a perfect ending right there. Especially for the recording, because I can see into the future. Like, I'm thinking, this is going to get into the hands of the police, and they're going to ask for proof, because they're not going to believe me outright. And these guys are probably not going to tell on themselves. So that's about as perfect as it gets for an ending. I say, if you don't let me out of your store, I'm calling the police. And he says, hey man, you do what you got to do. So I end the recording, and I call 911. I tell the dispatcher, hey, this is what's happening to me. I'm in the ghetto. I'm in the hood. Here's the exact address. They're like locking me in their store and they won't let me leave. They're holding me against my will. Those are the words I tell the dispatcher. The dispatcher literally doesn't seem too, worried. You can tell I'm black, even if some black people tell me I'm white, based off of my voice. You hear me on the dispatch because I requested that call, Freedom of Information Act, and the dispatcher just doesn't. There's a level of apathy in the tone and cadence in the voice, and I'm happy at that time knowing that some cops know where I am. If anything goes down, I called first. If I got to fight my way past one skinny pothead Arab and one fat slovenly Arab and one toothless heroin addict, I'm confident in my odds. I'll take them out. And I called the police first and had them acknowledge what the circumstances were, being held against my will, Felt good at that point. I was like, all right, let's see what happens next. Start cracking my knuckles in my head. In my head, I'm like, Fight Club. In my head, I'm like, all right, let's do this shit. Let's do this shit. Gotta fuck some little bitch ass dudes up. But that's not how I wanted my day to end. But like, I'm not gonna be in here too much longer. You ain't gonna be holding me against my will. That's what I'm doing in my head. And I'm literally just like, if they don't get here soon, I'm gonna hop over the counter. I'm gonna go back behind the counter. I know where the key turn is to open up the metal shutters. I know how that works. If this guy tries to stop me, I'm smashing him. I'm not stopping. I'm smashing him until he's out. And then I'm walking out the front door. So I wait another 10 minutes. I call back. Call 911 against my better judgment. I call back. He says, well, the units say they are almost there. They should be there in a couple minutes. I say, okay, can you call them and get an ETA on me? He says, hold on a second. Dispatcher lets me know, oh, they are exactly like 5 minutes out. They'll be there soon. Just hold tight. And I'm like, all right, at least they're here. I'm thinking when the police show up, the shutters come up. I should blow my nose or something before this because I am seriously like sniffling. So I talked to the police twice. I talked to the dispatcher twice, and I'm confident right now. I'm like, all right, well, I won't have to mess anybody up. They're outside. I don't know how this stuff works in the hood. Sometimes you call the police and they don't even show up. But I talked to the dispatcher twice. They said they're out on their way. It's been about 10 minutes or so, and the police are probably outside right then. Another 5 minutes or so go by. Literally, I'm just sitting there waiting for the doors to open. It just seems like it's stretching on all damn day. And what happens actually is Buddha calls the cashier Abi, or whatever I was calling him. And Abi goes to the back and opens up the shutters, the metal shutters. And then Abi goes to all 3 doors and unlocks them. And at this point, there's 3 Chicago PD officers, which I call them bitch-ass pigs, standing outside. And they'd been standing out there for about 5 plus minutes, 5, maybe 10 minutes. They've been standing out there, like walking around, surveying the area, looking in through the little slits, because the shutter has like little slits where you can kind of see out and investigate. They were just out there for a minute. And then I grabbed my hand cart and I go to start walking outside. I got close to the front register, and Buddha walks in, yelling and bravado and like, "Hey, what you doing, man? Why are you causing all this trouble? What you think you're just gonna leave? Those are my products." I was like, "No, you didn't actually pay for them yet." And then he has a money order and he kind of like tries to throw it in my face. Like he literally tried to like throw a money order in my face without understanding how gravity works or how like pieces of paper don't necessarily fly linearly. Like there's no, so the paper went and like as it left his hand, it didn't go any closer to my face. It just kind of floated down to the ground. And then I was like, either way, that didn't even matter. He was trying to still throw something in my face, and that's literally the point that I was like, "Move out of my way, dude. Get out of my way. I'm leaving." It's like, "But I got the money on him." I don't care. I've been here for almost 2.5 hours, it feels like. I don't know. I had no idea how long I'd been there. I've been there for way too damn long. You lied to me in your text. You said you were at the place, you had the money order, and you're at the store. Come to find out, you weren't at the store. And then he comes up with a quick lie. He says, "No, I was at the store. I was at the store. I was in the back. I forgot I had to go run. I had to go run and do something. I was at the store." So then I say, "Can I see your money order?" He goes, Yeah. He thinks I'm taking a money order and I'm going to give him the product. I do not want to give him the product. I want to see the money order because there's probably some type of timestamp on the money order. Lo and behold, there is. That guy is a trash-ass liar. Buddha Said he had the money order ready at like 7 in the morning. The money order says different, like case of Mori. And the lie detector test determined, that's what determined. You fucking bitch ass liar. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm not even gonna argue. I'm probably not gonna come back here anymore. He said, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, you guys kidnapped me. You locked me in your store for over 2 hours, and I'm never coming back here. You're not getting. You can call the company and complain, but I have recordings. I'm still recording now. As it turned out, I turned my recording back on just because I'm recording everything. I can't trust these motherfuckers. For the life of me, I couldn't trust them at all. Not as far as I can throw him, and that dude was about 320 pounds, and he was like 26. Max 26. So I go to leave, and I start talking to the police officer. There was 3 police officers. One looked Latino, one was definitely Filipino, and one was a white guy. So I'm thinking I got at least a 66% chance of appealing to these guys' humanity because, they've experienced discrimination. They are also law enforcement officers, and they probably know how it feels to have your rights, or what you feel your rights, infringed upon in some way, in whatever way that may be for them. And so I start talking, and I say, hey, these guys locked me up. I say, hey, let me talk to you on this side of the building. We go to the side of the building. I start talking and say, hey, these guys locked me in their store. And I need you guys to do something about it. I think I said something like that. And the white bitch ass pig, he comes forward and he's like, well, what do you want us to do? You're out now. Just go. I was like, no, that's not how this works. A crime was committed. I was held against my will. I need you to do something. Then the white cop, then the Filipino cop says, well, what do you want us to do? I said, I don't know, like, make a report or something? And that's your job? Then why don't you make a report? Do anything. I need something to bring back to my managers. And I need something to show that why I was here for so long. Do something. I literally was telling these cops to do anything. And they're like, well, then the white guy comes back. And the Latino at this point he left and he went to go, he knew what was going on. He went to go, get information from the 2 Arab dudes and possibly the heroin addict black dude. He knew what was going on. I don't think he really wanted any parts of this because he saw the racism. That's just my anthropomorphizing, his intentions. His intentions are anthropomorph. I can't even say right now, but that was how I felt. He was taking that situation. He saw the bullshittery and he said, nope. So he walked off, and he went to go, I guess, take statements from the other 2. And the white guy comes back and he's like, well, even if we could make a police report, I don't know what this would be. I don't know what this would be filed under. And then I say, I want to speak to your supervisor, now. Can you guys call him? Can you get him on the phone or something? Can you get him on the horn? Because I need to speak to somebody who would know how to do their job. Because I'm asking you guys to do something and you're telling me you don't know what you can do. He literally says, okay, but he's busy right now. I said, I can wait. Get him on the horn. He literally said he's busy right now. I told him I could wait. And he said, fine. And then he said, he walked away. Dispatch, did that little bullshit. He comes back and he's like, oh, he might be about 45 minutes. I said, that's cool. I'm gonna log off my handheld. I'll take this as a personal break. I need to speak to somebody who's in charge, who knows what they're doing. So, long story short I go and smoke a cigarette. I'm like, this is interesting. This shit's playing out. I was fighting it out with the Arabs. Now I'm fighting it out with the racist ass pigs. This shit's interesting. Wish I had some popcorn, man. I might go to that. I might get some meat and cheese nachos for the first time. Tell them hold the roaches. I might go to the corner store. Say, hey, let me get some of that old ass ground up beef that you got out of a fucking stale shoe. Let me get some of that you leave uncovered in your roach motel. Like, let me get some of that. Let me get extra sauce. Put that extra cheese. I might do that. I'm thinking like, hey, take 45 minutes. I'm hungry. It's like, I got to the store at like 12:10 maybe, 12:30 at the very latest. Because I like being checked in by 12:30, having my product ready and staged and ready to go, so that I can be out of that store at 12:30 and on the road back to my warehouse, back to my company's location. I checked the time. It was like 3:45, or it was like 4 o'clock. Let's just say 4 o'clock. And everything you print out has a timestamp on it. So I was like, huh. It's been about 4 hours. I've been dealing with these fucking yahoos and these bullshit ass police. So anyway, the sergeant finally gets there about 15 minutes after the white cop told me it was going to be 45 minutes. Sergeant gets there, and then he's another white guy, and he seems like he's not happy, but he doesn't seem pissed off at me. He doesn't seem like I'm the problem, like the other 3 cops kind of seemed like I was the problem here, simply for existing and calling them to assist me. They had the attitude of, Negro, we're not here to assist you. Why would you even call us? We're here to murder you. Don't you know the rules? You want us to help you? We're going to be as adversarial to that notion as we can be. We're literally the exact antithesis of helpful to niggas. And you, my good sir, you're a nigga. I'm not going to be helpful to you. That's the attitude they took. So anyway, the sergeant shows up and he's upset. And I let him know right off the bat, like, look, by my attitude, by my tone, my cadence, and my demeanor, I was like, look, I need you to do something about this right now. It's not acceptable. I work for a big company, and I'm in this store, and they literally locked me in the store and held me against my wishes for over an hour and a half. I've been in this store trying to get out. I have a recording. I have proof that they're criminals, and I talked to these 2 cops, and they told me they didn't know what to do or how to write a police report, and one of them said, you're out now, just go, as if I'm not gonna take this crime against you seriously. And then the officer said, wait, what? I said, yeah, that's what just happened. I was recording that part too. I'm still recording now. And he said, oh, sorry about that, sir. So what do you want us to do? I said, I need you to make a police report. And he said, well, what happened? I was like, I was held against my will. And then like kidnapping or something? I don't know what you guys would call it. I don't have the police handbook. But make a report so that I can sign it and go down to the precinct and then file whatever I need to file and talk to whoever I need to talk to. Like, I don't do this often. I don't have to call you guys often, so I don't know the procedures, but I've watched a bit of TV and I have a couple people in my family who know more than I do about this sort of thing. So I had that conversation almost verbatim with the cop, and then he was like, okay, well, let me just go back to the car and write this up. He went back to the car, came right back, and at this time I'm giving this look to the Filipino and the white dude. I'm just mean. I don't know how to mean mug. That's not even a mean mug. That's more like a fuck you, you little bitch. You little bitch. You're supposed to be helping me. You ain't here to help me. Help one of these gangbangers fucks you up. And your woman. Like, that's the look I'm giving them. Like, literally, that's the look I'm trying to give them. And they're all like looking around. Occasionally, break one, doing that little bullshit. Breaker, yeah. And then they're standing there like, what the fuck is this look, by the way? What is this look? What is this? What is this look? It's the goofiest shit I've ever seen, and cops didn't do that shit until Batman the movie came out. where Bane was breaking Batman's back, walking around and have his monologue about how he grew up in the dark. Cops didn't do that shit until that movie. And now every goofy, fat, bald-headed, dipshit cop is out there trying to, like, look cool. It don't look cool. You look like a dumb fuck who doesn't know where to put his hands because he's a dumb fuck. Did I say dumb fuck? Yeah, you're a dumb fuck. That's what you look like. So the detective comes back, and I'm mean mugging these two bitch niggas. Officers, upstanding, law-abiding, rule-enforcing officers. So he comes back and he says, yeah, this is going to be a Class C felony. They essentially did kidnap you and held you against your will for a large amount of time. So here's the report number. Take this to your managers. Do whatever you need to do. One of the people from my office will get back to you in the next day or so. Just keep your phone on. We'll be reaching back out to you. Ladies and gentlemen, there's more. That's part 2.